Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, we are going to be talking about our May 2023 monthly budget, and I am going to be sharing with you guys our real numbers and our real goals, all of that fun stuff. So if that is of interest to you, then please keep watching. So if I haven't mentioned this in the last few videos, or if you don't know this, we are a family of two humans, one dog, living in the state of Georgia, and we live in an area that isn't really what I would consider to be a high cost of living area, or even a low cost of living area. I would consider it to be average, and something that is average to me is something that is feasible. So that is what is happening here. We both work full-time in education, and then of course I do content creation on the side, and my husband does as well. And that's kind of what we have going on. There's really not a whole lot about our lives. We do have one car loan, and we have two vehicles that are paid off. And what else do we have going on? We're just on a journey to financial independence. So hopefully one day we will be able to sustain ourselves so we don't have to struggle when it comes to what retirement life might look like, because we would like to be ready to go and ahead of the game, honestly, whenever it comes time for one or both of us to retire. So anyway, that's kind of what we have going on. Let's go ahead now and talk about our goals for May of 2023. So the first goal that we have is to pay my husband's college tuition. So he is going back to school for a master's degree. So we are going to have to pay for his school tuition, which we have not done. Technically, neither of us has ever come out of pocket to pay tuition, but he does have tuition, and it's, I think, like $2,600, somewhere in between there. I know it's due on May 19th, so that's what we have coming down the pipes in the month of May. We also want to save $2,000, and right now we are not doing any additional investing like we once were. I have lots of videos that have come out recently regarding why we are not doing that right now. But basically we just have a lot going on, and so we don't have the additional funds, I guess, if you will, to be investing at the rate that we were. So right now we're saving for a number of different things, including my husband's master's degree. We also are planning to invest 15% of our paychecks, or that's something we would like to do. We want to pay our monthly credit card bill, which of course is a goal every month, or something we need to do every month. And I do want to mention, all of these are not goals. Some of them are just things that we need to do in the month of May. So I just have them all listed under goals. We also have on here to register our truck and add it to our auto insurance. We do have a pickup truck that doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't move. It has been broken down for much of the time that we've had it, so it's just not registered, and it's not on our auto insurance. It is registered, it's just not registered to us, because it's a very long story, but I'm not gonna share with who we got the truck from, because then that would give away how we got the truck, which I've talked about before, but I haven't shared that story just because it involves someone else. So basically, that's the story on that. We also want to save $225 for sinking funds, which is going to be really important in May, because in June, at the beginning of June, our auto insurance is due. We pay our auto insurance every 6 months, and we don't know how much is going to be really every month. Kind of just depends on what Progressive feels like they want to charge us, and other factors, obviously, but it's still never exactly like an exact amount, and we don't know what the amount is until typically a few weeks before it's due. So I'll figure out that number in May, but for now, I've been saving $1,000 each month to pay for our auto insurance. I also save money for other subscriptions and dues and things that are due throughout the year. But anyway, I'd say that the most important thing every 6 months is paying for our car insurance or auto insurance. My niece is graduating in the month of May. My mentee is graduating in the month of May on the same day, 7 hours away from one another. So obviously we are going to go watch our niece graduate. So I want to get her a gift, and I'm thinking it'll be cash, of course. These are folks who are graduating from high school, by the way. And then I think I'll give Libby cash too. So that'll happen in the month of May. We also are having a Cinco de Mayo party, and I need to buy party supplies for that. It's really not much. I've explained this in videos prior. Really, us having a party is the equivalent of us skipping a date night. That's basically what it comes down to because of how it's structured and because it's really just a gathering of folks. It's not anything super fancy and exotic. I think we probably spend maybe, $10 on paper goods like paper plates and things like that. So it's really nothing major. There's no major decor. It's really just us buying food or making food, or we're gonna make food in this case, and then everyone else bring in something to share, and that's kind of how that works. So it's kind of like we have the meeting place for the party at our house. I do though, like when we do our games, I like to give away prizes. That's something that I love to do. So I do need to buy gift cards, and those are typically the prizes that I give away. So I do have that on here. I also am thinking about, well, let's back up. Because we have to go out of town, I don't think we're gonna take our dog. So she will be boarded. She hasn't been boarded in a while. She doesn't get boarded a whole lot. I don't know that she exactly loves it, but it's the safest option because we have people who we know, but they don't really care for dogs or want to be bothered with dog sitting. So our real only option is dog boarding. I know she would, we always have to tell ourselves, we know she would prefer to be with us, but she's safe there. It's not like it's somewhere unsafe, but I know she doesn't love it, but the girl's gonna have to go in the month of May because I know she doesn't want to ride in the car with us for like 15 hours. So there's that. I'm thinking about signing up for BarkBox for her just so I can have an automatic delivery to the home each month for treats, toys, and supplies and whatever comes in these boxes. I've mentioned before that we make a lot of our treats. They're just homemade, healthy foods that dogs can eat. So I do make a lot of her treats technically, but some of them we don't. But I'm thinking if we get the BarkBox, it will be just like a fun thing, obviously. But then, we'll be able to have unique toys and treats and stuff that we can give to her each month. And then the final thing we have to do in May is pay our cell phone bill because I just paid in April my bill for the next year. So we have Mint Mobile. I will not pay a cell phone bill again for an entire year. So next April, I will pay again unless I leave Mint Mobile, which is probably not gonna happen because it's so inexpensive. And I just use my phone to make a few calls and to send a few texts. Like I could probably live my life without a cell phone, which probably sounds crazy coming from a millennial and one who is a content creator, but truly, I could probably just live my life with an iPad or something like that because I really don't use the phone that much and I really don't need to. I can text from my iPad. Truly, I could use an iPad for the rest of my days. And then, or I could just use Wi-Fi. A Wi-Fi enabled device is what I'm trying to say. And that's it. Yeah, that's all that we are planning to do for the month of May as of right now. And really what I typically do, or what I like to do, is I just like to go through everything that's happening in the month of May that I'm aware of right now. And then I just like to try to figure out what all, how we might need to, how we're planning to spend our money. Like, sure, I could miss my niece's graduation, but that seems bizarre to me. So there's never going to come a time where I'm going to not go celebrate someone. So we could miss it and then not spend any money on that. But the fact is we're going. And so we will need to budget for the travels there. We'll stay with a family or a family friend or something. So I'm not worried about that. We already have a couple options for where we will sleep, but we do have to budget for food that we might spend. Again, it's really just a quick weekend trip. It's not going to be too much more money spent than what we would do if we were home. Again, it's kind of like that whole thing where it's equivalent of a date night. So basically, if we skip the date night that week, which we will, then we can travel home, watch my niece graduate, and travel back for about the same amount of money. But anyway, I just kind of like to look forward to the next month to see what all is happening and to try to budget accordingly. So with all of that being said, I want to share with you the budget that I have come up with for the month of May. So for the gym, which is going to be due at the top of the month on 5/1, we are going to budget for, well, I just got myself lost. Let's go back. For the gym, for the both of us, we're going to budget $59. So we pay $59 even per month for a gym membership for 2 people. We have a car payment. Like I mentioned, we do have a car loan. So we're going to pay $314.34 on the 7th for our car. For Sling TV, which is what is considered our cable, we pay $40 even each month for like a premium subscription, and we get a bunch of channels. We could probably stand to get rid of it, but I will say we do watch a lot of Lifetime movies on there when they premiere. That's kind of the only channel that we watch. Maybe a few others, but I can only speak for myself when I say I definitely only watch Lifetime when we're watching Lifetime movie marathons. Next up, we have electricity, which I just got the bill for that. That is going to be due at 104.57. Now, sometimes I don't really pay attention to when the due date is. So it's going to be due 5/10 be due on the 10th of May at 104.57. For for pest control, that recently went up 10%, and so now it's $50.60 due on the 11th of each month, and that is for the company to come out and tame our pests. So you might find an ant or pest or two way far out at the back of our yard, perhaps, but you don't see any like in close proximity to our patio or porches or like in the main part of the yard. So they do a good job. That's why we don't cancel that, even though I'm always talking about potentially canceling it. Next up, we have internet at $80.30. That also recently went up, and that is through AT&T. Our internet is not working as well as it once used to, so I need to kind of call and make a fuss about that and see what other options there are. Our mortgage also recently went up, so it is going up from $1,520.99, which is what it was the past year, to $1,611.23. And because of escrow, which is basically property taxes and all of that stuff that is wrapped up into our mortgage, that's why the price fluctuates from year to year. Because if property taxes go up, then we have to pay more, or trash is included in our mortgage payment. So if that cost goes up, then we have to pay more. If it goes down, we pay less, but it's rare that anything around here goes down, but that's how that works. Next up, we have phone. I just told you I paid my cell phone bill for the entire year, but we pay my husband's cell phone bill every 3 months. We could pay his for the entire year. So I don't really know why we pay it every 3 months, but we do. And so I'm budgeting $130.86 because that's what it was last time. So hopefully that does not go up. Also, we have water/sewer. I budget $55 for that each month. Typically, it's like $53, $55, and some change, $57. So probably I could budget $60 instead of $55. But I just budget $55 every month because it's somewhere around that amount. Next up, we have Amazon Music, which has us in a chokehold, and we pay $15.99 each month for, unlimited access to music. Some people may pay for Spotify or Pandora. We pay for Amazon Music. We also have security for our home at $52.14. That also recently went up. So did Amazon Music. I mean, everything on here has gone up. Next up, we have life insurance, which didn't go up because it can't, because we are locked into that for 10 years, or at this point, we got it when we first got married. So like 3 more years. So it's going to be $42.19 for both of us. Next up, we have pet, which also recently went up to $61.05, and that is our dog's wellness plan through Banfield. Covers all of her major stuff. Next up, we have Netflix at $9.99, and people are always shook at how we pay only $9.99. That's because we can only watch on one TV at a time, and we've had it for so long that even though it does keep going up to people who are joining Netflix, new folks, our price stays the same because we're grandfathered in. We also have investing. So I invest $20 each week via Stash. So I just stash away $20 is what it essentially shakes out to be, which is handy because really I just do it because I don't really know why, but the goal is that, we'll just keep investing that money and we can just choose to do with it what we will. So I'm thinking at the end of this year, we could use it for Christmas or just whenever. We could just kind of dip into that little stash of money. We also have, so we do it every Friday, so that's why it's $80 because there are 4 Fridays in the month of May. Also, like I mentioned, we want to save for sinking funds. That's going to be $225, and that's going to be towards 5 different sinking funds or different little categories. And then we have savings at $2,000, which is what we always try to save. And that will leave shopping at $1,567.74. So everything that is left over is what we are going to put towards shopping. That is going to include the gifts and buying party supplies and the traveling and the groceries and the gas for our cars, dog food and food for ourselves, date nights, any other giving, you name it. Everything is going to be a part of that budget. And I'll tell you a secret that sometimes that amount can creep up and it can end up being more. But typically when that happens, that's because I'm tracking the expense as a part of the shopping category because I want to capture it somehow, mainly so I can know in the future when I look back on previous budgets what all we were spending our money on. But also because so it could be increased, but the money could come from savings. So like, whereas when it comes to our actual amount that we are planning to spend in the month of May, which is $6,500, because if you add up all of that, then you get $6,500, which means that's how much money we are planning to bring in the month of May and how much we're planning to spend or use in some type of capacity in the month of May. I just lost my train of thought. But basically what I'm trying to say is, because I'm budgeting $6,500, let's say that we pay for my husband's tuition. Well, as you can see, I'm not budgeting for paying for his tuition, technically. So maybe the $2,600 comes from our savings, and then I track it in the budget in the shopping category, which would make that seem like we've spent more money than what we actually have. But that's because I am taking money from savings or something like that. It doesn't really matter as long as if you account for money that you're bringing in from savings or something like that, if you account for it in your income category, it kind of cancels itself out, so you'll be good to go there. But oftentimes I don't do that. I don't count it as income because it's not, but I will capture it as a part of the shopping budget or in some category within our budget because I want to be able to reference it on down the line. So that is our monthly budget. That's how we're planning to spend our money for the month of May. I recently shared our bills tracker, and so I'm still working out the kinks, but essentially this is our bills tracker, and this captures all of the bills that we pay either on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, semi-annual basis, you name it. So this is our bills tracker, and so we have all of the bills that we'll be paying in the month of May, and that's just kind of how that works. So I absolutely am obsessed with the bills tracker, and that's pretty much how that'll work. So whenever May comes, I will enter in our income in the income section. I'll enter in our expenses each time we have a transaction because I track every single one of our expenses. I'll enter that information into the expenses category or section, and then as the month goes on, I can always see how on track or not on track we are with our budget, because this beautiful spreadsheet, that's basically what it is here, will give us a lot of insight into how much money we have spent, how much money we've brought in, how much money we have left to spend in each category, all of that fun stuff. So anyway, this is our budget for the month of May. These are our goals, our to-dos, and how we're looking to spend our money in the month of May. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like. Subscribe if you're new and if you're liking what you're seeing, and I will catch you guys right back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye guys.